Hi, it's Rachel Miller, and we're back again. We're continuing in our Vision series about what does Black America do now. We're definitely living in a very interesting and challenging time, but we're talking about the vision forward. And so in part one, we discussed two high level goals, and that was we needed radical love and radical collaboration. And we're going to keep building on top of those two main visionary big goals and start digging down about how we move forward as a community. And so one thing that we need to move towards in terms of community is making sure folks are aware of the three main wealth building strategies. And we need to apply our efforts to that end. So number one, investing in the stock market. And that's something I think we're just now beginning to learn about in most households, but the stock market is a primary way to wealth. And so these things I'm going to list, it's probably going to require some education on your part, on my part as well. But educating yourself on these vehicles for wealth. We have folks in our community, thank goodness, that are beginning to help us learn about stock market and investing and so forth. So that's good to research and know there. Number two, real estate investing. So whether you're flipping houses or renting rooms out through Airbnb or doing short-term rentals or whatever is your fancy, the real estate investments is a primary pathway to generating wealth. And then finally, owning a small business. That's the third pathway to generating wealth. And this can look like a variety of models. It could be a consulting model and freelancing. It could be some people have the digital marketing firms where they're selling their own products and content creation and so forth. And of course we have tech founders but the business model, the small business model can look a variety of ways, but having a small business is the third primary way to building wealth. And so this is a well-researched thing where these top three areas for building wealth, they are common, but we're kind of pulling up the rear because of our history and because of the lack of knowledge. We're pulling up the rear here. And so I want to bring the rear to the forefront and be clear on this is where we're headed. These are the tools we're using or our focus for generating wealth. We're going to continue this series with vision, but we wanted to piggyback off of the radical love and the radical collaboration, because really the collaboration will be critical in all three of these areas, really. Whether your stock market, you may do this with your spouse. You guys will come into agreement on how you want to invest your funds as a family or as a couple. But spreading more widely to the extended family, a lot of folks with wealth have family trusts, and how investing might be a collaborative effort for a trust. Real estate, a lot of some people, they might invest money and partner together to buy real estate so that folks could profit. And then when you're running a small business, the goal is not to be a solopreneur for long. And so eventually you're going to have to collaborate with someone or form strategic partnerships. And so we're continuing with that overarching theme of radical love and radical collaboration. We have to learn how to collaborate. But in terms of where we apply our energy and what's the roadmap towards wealth, outside of a traditional corporate structure, because really that's the ultimate goal, where we're not trying to be held captive to corporate America, where we might encounter some challenges or might be vulnerable for some of the microaggressions, some of the biases. And so generating wealth outside of that infrastructure is going to be key for our community as we move forward in these treacherous times. And, beyond a presidency, we need to be able to, as I mentioned in our earlier video, build our own economy to the highest degrees that we can. All right, stay tuned for part 3, where we're going to start digging into skill sets we need to begin to develop so that we remain competitive for the future. But continue our vision series. Hang with us. Have a good night.